Evening. Good evening to you too.
Hello, good evening, everybody. How are we all doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, so I see that we have Olarinwaju and Daniel, just two people now.
Yeah, Olariwaju, I am Folashade Do. I'm using my husband's machine.
Oh, you are Bukola.
Oh, Folashade. Idowu Folashade.
Oh, Idowu Folashade. Okay, that's lovely. We're not hearing from Daniel yet. So I hope I'm clear. You can hear me clearly and you can see me clearly.
Yes, so far I can hear you clearly.
Okay, that's awesome. I can see that so far we have we're just 3 online for now. Okay, I think I would you like me to make your video active, or are you okay with it just being me that you can see?
It's okay. It's okay. For me.
Okay, all right. Hi, Bukola. It seems it's just us. We're just going to start. This meeting is actually supposed to be for an hour, where we discuss, like I said, on the platform, it's just an introductory meeting for us. Subsequently, then we'll now start talking more about the course. But for today, it's supposed to be for an hour, but today I have just 40 minutes. And that's because there was a bit of an issue with my sign up on Zoom. But we're just going to try and make the most of the meeting. This course is BFN 421, as you're aware, and it's about risk and insurance. I think I should introduce myself first. My name is Aibo, and I'm a lecturer with the Faculty of Management Sciences. The Faculty of Management Sciences is actually based in Lagos, but I am based in Abuja. Mostly in Kefi, but sometimes I come into Abuja. My email address, if you would like to take it down, so that if you have any questions, you can also reach out to me on the learning space. But if that's not fast enough for you, or you feel like you're not getting the kind of response that you need, then you can always contact me on iborrow@noun.edu.ng.
I didn't get that.
I said, if you need to contact me via my mail, you can always contact me on iborrow.noun@noun. iborrow, yes. I'm going to type it in the space for the chat. iborrow@noun.edu.ng. So I've sent a chat now, and everybody who joins either now or later should be able to see it. So it's iboro@noun.edu.ng. Okay, so just to create like an icebreaker, how about I get to know you a little bit more, Bukola?
You mean Folashade?
I'm sorry, Folashade. Yes, I'm so sorry, Folashade. How about I get to know you a little bit more?
Oh, well, like I've said, my name is Idowu Folashade.
Mm-hmm. And where are you based?
I'm seeing Fumi. I'm seeing somebody else here. Hello?
Yeah, Fumi.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, I was seeing somebody else's. I think somebody is trying to join us too.
Oh, okay. Everybody's video is off for now, except mine. So I think it should just be me that you should be seeing.
So Fumi should probably off our video.
Yeah.
So as we were saying,
yes.
Yes, my name is Ido Folashade Smart, 400 level student of Nigeria National Open University.
Okay.
Yeah, studying entrepreneurship and business management.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to be a baker by profession.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, I bake cakes and I plan events.
Oh, that's great. So you're practicing what you're learning already.
Yes, yes, yes. I
That's
just
great.
need to know more about that. Yes, yeah. Before now, I was an engineering student,
Oh,
and
really?
somehow I'm trying to digress from what I've studied earlier.
Mm.
So,
Okay. Okay,
let
that's
me
great.
switch off your video.
That's really great. Okay. So I see that Josephine is also trying to say something. Where are you based? Idowu?
Yes, I based in Lagos.
Okay,
Lagos,
okay.
I live in Ikorodu.
Oh, okay. That's
Yes.
awesome. That's awesome.
And my study center is Lagos Study Center.
Okay, that's on the island.
We switch off your video.
Okay, that's great. I see that Josephine is trying to say something. Hello. Okay, anyway, so I'll just keep going on because it seems well, a few of us are having problem with our network. So I'll just continue discussing. So this course is about risk and insurance. Basically, in fact, that's the name of the course, risk and insurance. And I'm sure we all have a little idea of what risk is. And if we don't, risk is a form of uncertainty, you know, the possibility of something happening or not happening. Usually in finance, risk, the level of risk you take is sometimes associated with the level of returns that you should expect. And so that's why it was important that we include this course in your coursework. As an entrepreneur, most people who are taking this course are entrepreneurial students. As an entrepreneur, you need to know about risk in order to know how to manage it and how to handle it. I see that Josephine is raising up her hand. I don't know if you want to say something. Do you want to say something, Josephine? Okay, so I have lowered Josephine's hand. I see that we have also been joined by a few other people, George and Blessing. If you have any question and you're not able to speak for me to hear, you can just start a chat. I started a chat where a chat that everybody can see. So you can just click on that space on the right hand side of your Zoom app. Just click on there and then you will see a place where I have started a chat, and you can just write whatever questions you have there and I'd be glad to answer. Now, like I said, this first meeting is just an introductory meeting. It's just for us to get to know more about ourselves. First of all, you know, for me to introduce myself to you as the facilitator for this course, and to also give you a little bit of an idea of what the course is about, which is risk and insurance. So I was saying that when you have risk, you have to know what kind of risk you have to learn what causes that risk, and you also have to learn how to prevent the risk. And if it is a risk that is not preventable, you need to also know how to take advantage of that risk and make a profit out of it. And you know, I was saying that in finance, it's believed that the level of risk you take determines the level of returns that you take. Some people, some scholars are of the ideology that the level of risk you take determines the level of returns you get. So if there's an investment, for example, if the investment has a risk that is for, say, 50%, the expectation is that that investment that has a risk of 50% should have a return that would be higher than an investment that has a risk of, say, 5%. Clear example, government bonds and regular securities. Now, regular securities, regular company stocks would probably give you a better return on your investment. But then there's the risk that the prices of that stock might fall, and if the prices fall, then you would lose your money or lose some of your money. But then the advantage there is that based on the amount of risk that you have taken, if the risk then pays off, then you would be able to get a good return from that investment. However, with government bonds are considered to be risk-free. Of course, there's nothing in this world is actually risk-free, but then government bonds are considered to be risk-free. What that means is if you put your money into a government bond, you will get your money back. If you're putting your money into it, you get your money back. That just simply means that it is not risk-free. But then where we now say that there's a little bit of risk in it is in saying that sometimes, as at the time you're getting the money, the value for the money has actually reduced. Maybe some form of inflation has come into the economy, and so what 500 naira could buy for you before, 500 naira can no longer buy. So that's what, when we talk about risk, that's what we're talking about, which is why I said as business people, as entrepreneurial students, you would experience risk. In fact, that you are taking this course is a form of risk in itself, in the sense that, well, you take the course, you start the work, you might not pass like you expect to pass, which is a risk, but then you might actually pass so much. And if you pass well, and you get your certificate at the end of the day, you have a better return, which is getting a good job, than if you had not taken the risk of starting the program in the first place. So that's what we're going to be talking about. I mentioned that we're going to discuss the course material. Please, let me just repeat it again, that if you have any questions, just look down at the lower part of your screen. There's a part of your screen that says chat. If you just look at it, you'll see where it says chat. The part that says chat, if you click on it, you can chat directly with me, or you can chat with the whole group. Now, I already created a chat where I sent a message at 4:03 p.m. On that message, I simply put in my email address. So I said, before some of us joined us, I mentioned that if for any reason you need to contact me and you're not able to, of course, you can always reach me on the My Learning space, which is where you get this information from concerning the meeting. So you can always reach me on My Learning space. But if you feel like you're not able to reach me on My Learning space, you can always send me an email on my mail that I just sent to you in the chat. That's on the group. Okay, please, so I'd just like to remind us all that if we have any questions while I'm talking, please let me know. All right, so the course that we're working on is broken into 3 modules. 3 modules. Modules in National Open University simply signify that modules are like broad chapters. Pardon?
Yeah.
I see that Idowu is raising up her hand. Idowu, is there something you would like to say?
I can't see your chat.
Oh, okay. There's a space there if you look down below your screen where you're having this this conversation on Zoom, just look down below. You should see a place that says chat, or if you just press Control H. sorry, Alt H. The Alt button on your computer. If you're using a laptop, you can use the Alt button. If you click on the Alt button and you press H, it should open the chat.
I don't have an Alt button on my machine. I'm using an MacBook.
Oh, there's no Alt button on the MacBook. Okay, then just look down at
Yes.
the bottom of your screen. There should be a place there that says chat. Do you see it? Have you seen it? Click on it.
I've done that.
And then on your right hand side, or I don't know how the MacBook works, maybe on your left hand side, I'm using a HP laptop. Somewhere on your right hand side, you should be able to see the chat that I have sent.
It's just blank.
It's what? Okay, I'll send it again and see if you will get it this time around.
I just sent something now. Okay.
Yes, I've seen it. You said here.
Yeah.
So meaning that you have access to it. So I have sent another message now with my email address. Have you seen it now?
Yes, got it. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. So please, if you have any questions, so I'm going to lower your hand now, Ido, because we've spoken and we've sorted that out.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you have any questions, you can send a message on the chat side, or just raise up your hand. There's a way to raise up your hand so that I know that you're trying to contact me for and get some form of information, and I will address you directly. So I was saying that this course is broken into, I'm trying to rush it because when I started this meeting, I mentioned that we're going to get only 40 minutes today instead of an hour. It's supposed to be an hour, which is supposed to be 4 to 5. However, while I was activating my Zoom account, I encountered some form of difficulties that might have necessitated me to have either postponed this meeting or canceled it entirely. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted us to have the introduction today, get that out of the way so that we can hit the course running from our next meeting. And so I felt that 40 minutes or less would be okay for our introduction. So it won't go on for an hour. So like I said, this coursework, I hope you all have the course material. If you don't have the course material, you can always get it on my learning space, or I think I should type that for you, or www.nou.edu.ng. Once you click on there, you click on program and then courseware. You select the course, your faculty, select the level, which is 400 level, and then you can either select the semester or just leave it to show you all 400 level courses. Scroll down to the end and then you will see where it says the BFN 421. That's the name of this course that we're discussing now, because you need to have the course material. My intention, what I would desire for us to have in this group for our various meetings, for whenever we meet weekly, is for us to be able to discuss what we have studied. So now, after this meeting now, before this meeting ends, I will tell you what part, from what part to what part to read. And then we would have discussion on the forum, that's on my learning space. And when we come up here, we will discuss what it is that we have learned from what we read. Now, the purpose of this is so that you'd be able to study, as you know, a lot of us wait until when it's time for the exam before we start to study, which ends up affecting our results. But then with this program now, we're going to be able to pick it. You know, we could pick, like, say, 4 to 5 units and study it for the week. And then when we meet on Wednesday again, we'll have this. Our meetings are always going to be Wednesdays, 4 to 5 p.m. So when we meet on Wednesday again, we're going to be able to have this discussion and then discuss whatever it is that we have read. If anybody has a question concerning those units, we'll be able to address it. That will give you a better understanding of the course, give you a better understanding of what you are doing, and help you when it is time for exam. I realize that it's easier to answer your exam questions when you have an understanding of what you have read, rather than when you just cram and you try to submit. So like I was saying, this course has 3 modules. The modules are broad, and then in those modules we have certain units. So in each module we have 5 units. What that means is that we have 15 units to handle in the space of these interactions that we're going to be having. I would prefer that we have, we handle module 1, the whole of module 1, so the 5 units in module 1 by next week. What that means is that you need to read up on everything in module 1, which is the meaning and nature of risk, types of risk, risk and business stakeholders, people's attitudes to risk, costs associated with risk. You read up on it, and then by the time we meet next week, we'll discuss it. So that by the next upper week, we'll discuss everything under the module 2, and then the week after, we'll discuss everything under module 3. Having done that, what we would now be doing would be revisions, forums, and, clarifying whatever it is that we're not sure about. I see that we have another person who just joined us, Adonis Joshua. So please, like I said, I have to keep saying this again. If you need to contact me, you can contact me on my learning space. If you can't reach me on my learning space, you can reach me on iboro@noun.edu.ng. You can send me a mail there anytime, and I would help you with whatever it is that you need help with. I'm always with my phone, so, and my mail is on my phone, so I'd be able to give you access or give you the solution or information that you need as soon as possible. After this session, for every session that we have, so if at any point in time you're not going to be able to meet up with our meetings, which I said would always be on Wednesdays 4 to 5 p.m. If at any point in time you have to be elsewhere, or you're busy, or you're in a place where the network is not so good, or you have traveled somewhere, or you're in, sometimes maybe you have booked a flight and your flight is for 4 to 5. On those days, after every meeting, I would always attach the recording, because I'm running a recording right now. So after every meeting, I would always attach a recording of the course, of whatever it is we have discussed, on my learning space under the course. So every time you log into my learning space under your course, you would see the recording of any meeting that we have had. So even if you miss it, you can always catch up. Now, like I said, module 1 says meaning and nature of risk. Now, this course is about risk. I don't know if anybody wants to give us an idea of what they know risk to be. If you're willing to say something, please let me know. Is there anybody who wants to help us with what I understand by risk? It doesn't have to be correct. There's no right or wrong. Participation will be graded. So is anybody going to help us with that? All right then. So it seems Bassi Edet George, you're not saying anything, but it seems like your mic is picking up sounds. Okay, so I have someone here who is trying to say something, but I only have your matric number. I don't have your name. That's NOU 142879191. Please go ahead, speak.
Seems the network is kind of poor.
I think it just depends on your own personal network. Some people's, for other people, I'm not sure they're experiencing the same thing, and my own network seems okay from this end. I think you need to unmute yourself if you need to say something. Because I've been trying to unmute you and it seems you keep muting yourself. Okay, it seems Ido wants to say something to us. Ido?
Yes. Well,
So, like, wait for your mind as the court going on.
can you hear me?
Not so clearly because someone, I think I need to mute everybody and then just unmute you. All right, so Ido, I'm going to unmute you now and then you can say what you need to say. All right, so we're listening, Ido.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, you should say we should just say something about risk.
Yes.
What we know about.
Yes.
Those sincerely, yes, I have the hard copy anyway of my material, but I've not started reading it. That's the truth.
That's fine. Like I said, we're going to create a reading plan so that all of us will be carried along.
Yeah.
Yes, and the reading plan will help because when you know that by the time we meet the next week, we're going to be asking questions on the points that we have raised. You will try and read.
Absolutely. Well, for me, risk. What I understand, as a layman, what risk is about is trying to get involved with a level of uncertainty. You know, something you're not sure about the outcome. You understand? And I understand that is what we entrepreneurs are known for. Yeah, ability to try to take risk. Yeah. Even when it looks so uncertain, as in, oh, what's going to come out of this? But yet you want to take a level of risk. Okay, let me try it out. Okay, what if it turns out well? Yeah. That's at least to the extent I think I understand what risk is all about.
That's really great. You have done so well. I feel like with your answer, we should just name you class rep of this course. That's really great. That's awesome. So I'm going to just mute you back now, Ido, and then try to hear from the other person who is trying to talk. And see if we can also get something else. You are absolutely correct, Ido. Risk is some form of uncertainty. Okay, so matric number 14289799191. I have unmuted you. Is there something that you have to say concerning what risk is?
Okay. Yeah, someone just sent me a private message removed by the host. So he can't. Hello?
Yes, you said someone just sent you what?
Yeah, a message that she was removed from the class. She can't come back to the class.
Oh, okay, yes. I had to remove someone because she named herself Irene Boro. And it was causing a clash. My name is Irene Boro. And the person started, named herself Irene Boro. So I had to remove the person. However, kindly help me apologize to her. Tell her to please change her name on the group. Tell her to change her name on the platform, on the Zoom platform. Her name is not Irene Boro. I'm the only Irene Boro. Once she has changed her name, she'll be able to join subsequent meetings. She might not be able to join this one, but I will post the recording of this particular meeting on the learning space, so she can access that, and then subsequently she would be able to join us. And also, please tell her anytime, like I mentioned, we're going to be considering module 1 of this course by next week. That's from unit 1 to unit 5 by next week. So you can also help me tell her that so that she would catch up.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to mute you now, and then I see that Ido also wants to say something, and I will unmute Ido so that I hear what she wants to say. Yes, Ido.
No. I think I've said all that. Okay, maybe my cursor still remains there.
Yeah, so it keeps raising your hand.
No. It's okay. I'm good.
Okay. All right. So now the ones that we're going to look at by next week is the meaning and the nature of risk. Who has already given us like a layman's term of what risk is. But then by next week, I expect that we'll now be discussing risk on a deeper level. We'll now be discussing risk as students who are studying risk. We're now going to be discussing it based on what is on the course material. We're also going to be looking at the various types of risk. Just hold on 1 minute. Okay. Just bear with me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Ido can hear you.
All right. Okay. I see that Daniel is also raising up his hand. Daniel has something to say. So Daniel, please speak.
Okay, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Daniel. Good afternoon.
Okay, fine. You were asking for the definition of risk.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to say that every business has a measure of risk. Mm-hmm. For instance, maybe I want to start a pure water selling business. Mm-hmm. It has a measure of risk because I'm going to invest capital in it. Mm-hmm. I want to be sure that the capital that I've invested in the pure water business, for instance, would come out profitable. For instance, I invest 5,000 in pure water business. Okay, my expectation is that my return on investment should be more than the capital that was invested. So in a situation whereby I do not know the uncertainties that is involved in the business, I do not know because I have competition. There's a lot of people selling pure water business. So what is the guarantee that if I invest 5,000, I'll be able to make the capital that I invested and some extra profit? So that is an example of risk.
That is great, yes. So that is a very beautiful example of risk too. Starting anything, there's always the probability of it not going as planned. There's the probability of it failing. There's the probability of things not working out the way that you expected. And then one thing you need to also remember is that your environment determines the kind of risk that you experience. Now, one of the risks that, let's say, for example, you want to start a frozen meat business in Nigeria. Now, there's the risk that NEPA will not allow you enjoy light, and you'd have to run on gen, which is a way to avoid that risk, or your meat will go bad. If you were in a different country, for example, you will not be facing that risk. Some of the political instability kind of risk that we experience, you will not face that in Nigeria, in another country, if it was not Nigeria. So, and that's what takes us to the types of risk. So the types of risk vary depending on your business, depending on the environment. There's some risks, however, that are all round. They're just, they're the same for every business. They're the same for every person. We're also going to be looking at risk and business stakeholders. Please remember, if you have any questions that you need to ask, just raise up your hand. Zoom has the app there for you to just click on, and then you raise up your hand. If you have raised up your hand, I will see it and I will unmute you so that you'll be able to say what you have to say. If you also need to contact me outside of Learning Space, my email address is iboro@noun.edu.ng. So like I said, we're going to be looking at the meaning and nature of risk by next week. We're going to look at types of risk. We're going to look at risk and business stakeholders. We're looking at risk and business stakeholders, not because they're not other kind of risk. You have investors risk, you have risk, health risk, but then we're looking at business stakeholders because we are business students. We're entrepreneurs, we're in the area of business. And so we need to see how whatever it is we're learning can be practicalized in our daily work, which is why we're looking at risk and business stakeholders. We're also going to be looking at people's attitudes to risk. We have risk averters, risk avoiders. We have people who embrace risk. We have risk lovers. We have people who feel, if I take this risk, I will get this return. So I want to take this risk. In fact, some people go out looking for risk because they know that they will get some form of, sometimes they're not even sure that they will get the return, but then they're just lovers of risk. And then we have some people who do not like risk at all. There are certain people who's, the highest level of investment that they would ever do is government bonds because they don't like risk. They want to know that if they put 15 naira here, and they wake up tomorrow, they will meet the 15 naira right here where they have kept it. They don't want to hear that they put 15 naira here and then they woke up and it has reduced to 13 naira. So we have some people who do not like risk at all. We have some people who embrace it. We have certain people who hedge risk. Hedging is a way of protecting yourself against expected risk. So we're going to look at people's attitudes to risk. On that particular note, we're going to have that discussion where I will ask each and every one of you what your attitude is to risk. we're going to have costs associated with risk. So when there is a risk, there is a cost associated with it. Like Daniel mentioned, if you set up a business, a pure water business with 5,000 naira, and then you now experience some kind of, there's the risk that the business might not prosper like you expect. There's the risk that you might not get the approval that you need on time. There's the risk of competitors. Now, the cost associated with that risk is whatever thing it costs you to hedge yourself against that risk, that's a cost. Whatever you lose to that risk is also a cost. So please, let's remember this. Like I said, I have just 40 minutes, so I'm really trying to rush. We're going to be considering the whole of module 1 by next week. After we are done with the coursework, we're going to have a bit of an assignment where you will write something about your own personal experience with risk, how you handled that risk, and how that was finalized, the result of how you handled the risk. Was it successful? Was it not successful? Thank you all so much for your time. I have just about 3 minutes left. If anybody has any questions, please let me know now. If you can't let me know now, you can always drop a message on the learner space. You can also drop a message in my inbox, which is iboro@noun.edu.ng. I see that Abdul Hafiz Bala has joined. Abdul Hafiz, it seems you came a bit late. Well, sorry about this. I noticed you tried to join the meeting earlier. Please be reminded, all of our meetings will be on Wednesdays, every Wednesday for a certain number of weeks. And it will be between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. If you join before 4, you will not find me. If you join after 5, you may not find me. I say may because, maybe our discussions might be interesting and then we extend it a little bit. If you have any questions outside of this meeting times, feel free to drop it on mylearningspace.net or you send me a mail. You send a mail to the email address. I have dropped one on the group chat there. So I have unmuted everybody so that if anybody has something to say, they can just quickly say it before we round up.
Yes. I want to say something.
Okay, and who is speaking?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, but I need to know your name. Hello, please speak.
Hello, ma.
I can hear you.
Okay. I am Basi.
Okay. All right, Basi.
Yes. I want to ask, I don't know if you have the idea. We were given assignment TMA on this risk management, and it was not, the assignment was not from this material. We couldn't find the answers from the material we are using now.
Okay.
I don't know what would have been.
Okay, I will look into that. I didn't set the TMA for this course, but I will look into that and drop a message on my learning space for everybody. So I will contact the MIS people and inform them of that. I will find out the lecturer who set the TMA and ask the lecturer to please go and check it. I hope you're using the current course material.
Yes, actually, where they are bringing the TMA from is from MBA 815. That's where they are giving us the TMA from.
Oh, that's
MBA 815.
Information.
That's advanced.
That's information technology or something like that, yes?
Yeah.
Management information.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I wanted to say.
Okay. Thank you very much for bringing that to my attention. This is also a very good forum to bring these things to one's attention so that we can handle it quickly. So I will contact the necessary authorities and including the lecturer who set the TMA and ask it to be reviewed and the correct one will be uploaded. If the correct one is, when the correct one is uploaded, the TMAs might have to be reset. So you might have to start all over so that you would not have any problems. So is this particular TMA 1 or 2 or for the 3 of, for the ones, right now you have access to only TMA 1, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so it's particular to TMA1. So I will inform them ASAP. As soon as we're done with this meeting, I will inform the necessary people. I see that I think Zoom has added a few more minutes for me, so I don't actually have to log off at 4:40. So I will inform the necessary people, and then they will work on it. And I will drop a message on my learning space. So please always go on there, log on there and check. If there's any update, I would always put it up there for you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Did you all get my message that I sent today about the meeting?
Yes, I got the message. I got the message, yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I see that Oyebola is trying to say something, but I think Oyebola has logged out again. This is the time for questions. This is the time for whoever has a question to ask, whoever has something to clarify before we log off, so that by next week, we'll be starting business proper. Please remember, this week you're to read module 1. So by next week, we'll be discussing module 1. And if there are any questions on module 1, or if there's something you read on module 1 that you don't understand, you can always ask me. Module 1 consists of 5 units: meaning and nature of risk, types of risk, risk and business stakeholders, people's attitudes to risk, and costs associated with risk. All right, so Oyebola, please speak. Oyebola? All right, so it seems Oyebola doesn't have something to say right now. Is there any other person that has a question before we log out completely? Okay, so I'll just recap on what we have spoken about today. We spoke about the fact that this is just, we started by introducing ourselves. For those who joined late, myself and Idowu got to know ourselves a little bit better. If you're in Lagos and you need cake, please contact Idowu. She bakes cakes.
Thank you for.
We also spoke about what we're going to be doing throughout this program. I mentioned that we have 3 major modules in this course. Each module consists of 5 units, and that for each week, we're going to pick the number of units that we will discuss the next week. So we'll use the week to read what it is that we will discuss. And then when we meet on Wednesdays, our meetings are always going to be Wednesdays, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. So we'll pick what we will read. And when we meet on Wednesdays, we will discuss it. If anybody has a question about what it is that they have read, they will be able to ask their questions, and we can all put minds together. I mentioned that the aim of these meetings weekly is to help you get a better understanding of the course, so that you don't just read and cram, but you read and you understand. And if at any point in time there's something you don't understand, you always know that, okay, when we meet on Wednesdays, you can ask questions and you get a better understanding of what it is that you have read. I also mentioned that after we have addressed the 3 modules, that's the whole 15 units, that we're going to have like we're all going to write a short essay about risk, what we know and understand by risk, the kind of risk that we have experienced or we have encountered, how we handled it, and the results that we got from it. I think I should type that out for you people so that you can see it. I would also put it on the group page. So while I'm typing that, if you have any questions, just ask quickly before we log out. Are you all able to see the chat? So we're going to have presentations. You know, when you write your small essay, we would have a presentation. You would have like a PowerPoint, and you do a presentation. We can share your screen so that I will see your presentation and you can discuss it. Your course mates would ask you questions, and if I have any question as well, I will ask. All right, so by our next meeting, we'll then pick a date for our presentation. We'll pick which of the Wednesdays we're going to have our presentation. Okay, so Femel, I can see you said you're yet to receive a chat from me. I just sent one now. I think you should be able to see it. I think it's because before you joined, I had not, by the time you joined, I had sent what I needed to send. So, but I'm still going to send my message. Okay, fantastic. You have it now. Idowu too has it now. I'm going to send my email address again to you. IBORO. So that you can always send me a mail if you have any. You're welcome. You're welcome. So is anybody having any other challenge that they need to talk about? All right, so since we're all happy with the little that we have done today, which is, like I said, just an introduction and just to let you know how everything will play out. Now that we have all sorted that out, it was very nice of you all to have joined me for this meeting today. Please make it a date every Wednesday. Let me just write that there. Every Wednesday. 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. is when we'll be meeting. Every Wednesday, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. But anytime outside of that, you can contact me via my mail. All right, so thank you all so very much for coming to this talk and this meeting. I hope that by next week, we'll have more participators. Please remember, we're studying Module 1, Unit 1 to 5. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Irene Boro with the Faculty of Management Sciences, a young lecturer there. Bye-bye.
Bye.